Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people. Good morning, good morning, good morning. No, I've been saying a few times. Um, Happy Saturday for everybody out there. Hope you're having a wonderful morning. I hope your day is beautiful and blessed. So today, this morning I will be talking about Family Empire, Houston, season 1, episode 2, Skeletons in the Family Closet. All things in this video are alleged and they are from my opinion only, and they are used for entertainment and fair use commentary. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about Family Empire. I'm really liking it right now. And it starts with the G1s. Sorry, I have stuff wrote down so I can remember what I'll be talking about, because I'll be all over the place sometimes. However, it starts with Nicole having her hairdresser come over at 4 in the morning. She says that's the only time she has for her self-care. So her hairdresser comes over, does her hair. Her hairdresser's like, next time you could cook me breakfast. And she's looking like, no, it ain't happening. It is not happening. So I don't know, even in her early morning routine, Nicole is still she's just hard. She's hard. And I understand that because I'm probably like that myself. But it did shows where last episode we saw where she took Solange to look at this gorgeous house. She did make an offer on the house, and her offer, I think the house was at 1.4 million, 1.8. It was 1 point something. But she made an offer of 1.3 million for the house, and she wanted to pay 100,000 for the furniture. We don't know if she took the offer or not. It did show that the offer was presented, but they were supposed to be doing a follow-up. They didn't come back and let us know whether she was able to get the house or not. So I guess we'll see that later on in the episodes. Now, Nicole has gotten her hair done, gotten her coffee, and her husband comes home about 6 o'clock, and they're still stated that they've had issues in regards to communication, and they would go days on end without talking, and anybody knows that's not healthy in a marriage. It ain't healthy in any relationship, but we know it's not healthy in a marriage. No marriage or relationship is going to really survive without communication. You're going to have to talk to each other. You're just going to have to. I mean, right, wrong, or indifferent, you're going to have to talk to each other. So, but she talks to her husband about the conversation that they ended on last week, where Jamisha and Jaquita were joking about the wall that her and her sister have. and she was explaining to her husband how badly that hurt her feelings. So she was really in her feelings behind that, and she feel like she and her sister need to have a conversation without the audience. It just her and her sister, which they should have been had this conversation. But I understand it's hard for some people to open up. It really is. Then it goes on to show where Jamisha goes to where her mother and her grandmother are. And of course, Jamisha is on her grandma about keeping the land in the family because she don't want it sold out to an outside party. The G2s are willing to buy the land. And she's given her grandma all the ideas that she's thinking, how much she feel like the land will be worth and what they're going to try to do to the land. And she wants the land to be the next the legacy. They want to build for the next legacy, and she presented it well enough for her grandmother to say she would hold off on selling the land and well, to outside parties until I guess they figure out what exactly they are going to do. And she told her she did specify that she was going to sell, she's willing to sell the land to them, but she's going to sell, not give, because they think they finna get this big discount. And Oscarine ain't, Oscarine said, nah, baby, y'all ain't gonna get it like that. So Nicole ends up reaching out to the sister cousins where she sent out a text to Jamisha, Lakeisha, and their sister Monet and Jaquetta about having dinner at her house, and they could make up for hurting her feelings the last time they sat down and had a conversation. Of course, Monet wasn't included in the last dinner that we saw. We didn't see Monet, but we will see her this episode, which is the other sister. Well, her, in my mind, if your sisters, but based off of how people construe it, they're saying that not Jamisha, Nicole and Monet have the same mother and father. Lakeisha has a different mother. They all have the same father. But in my mind, they're still sisters, all of them. Even though you got some people like, that's my half sister, that's my half brother. I personally, my brother, you my sister, even though I ain't got no sisters, but that's how I look at it. But she reaches out to them so they can have a dinner, and it's going to be done at Nicole's house. Everybody responds that I saw, except for Jamisha, because every time they panned the camera to Jaquetta, she was in her first looking for something. I mean, whatever it is she was looking for, I hope she found it, because Homegirl was in there looking, and I hope she found it at some point or another. Next thing we get to see Lakeisha, which is Nicole's sister, and we get to see her with her girlfriend. Her name is Caramel. They go out to eat, and they're talking about what caused the disconnect with Nicole and Lakeisha. So they trying to figure out where that disconnect came from. Hi, Duchess. How you doing this morning? And Lakeisha states that she was introduced to the family when she was 7 or 8 years old, and they never really had conversations, and they always swept things under the rug. So she was trying to get closer to her sister, and it became more apparent that she really needed to get closer to her sister when her mother died. And I hate that for her because when you lose a parent, that's a lot. It really is, because that's a painful experience in itself. I've lost my mother and my father. So at this time, there I only have me and my brothers. And having brothers is a pain sometimes because those jokers, whoo child. But I understand how she feels, that she needs to. And then you have a sister, because it hasn't showed for real how her relationship is with Monet. It shows where she has a real hard issue with trying to connect with Nicole. And I don't know if that's because they're so close together in age, because her dad had her mom and Nicole's mom pregnant at the same time. But because they're the same age, Nicole is just a little older than her. But then after that, they show where the G1s sit and talk to each other. You know, Auntie Nikki is going between the G1s and the G2s. And Nikki is a G1, but she's the youngest of that bunch. So when she goes to talk to them, they all are talking about the mother wants to sell the land to pay for their houses. And I'm like, the way me and my mindset works, I understand parents want to take care of their kids. I understand that totally, because I got some I want to take care of too. But based off of what I'm looking at, the G1s are up there, which means some of y'all could have, if you hadn't paid off your houses, you should be close to paying off your houses at this point. But they're saying Grandma Oscarine is what, 85, 86 years old. So some of these G1s, some of y'all should have paid your houses off. Y'all shouldn't have to depend on your mom to pay your houses off. And I understand what she wants to do, because everybody wants to leave a legacy for their kids. I just feel like at some point y'all should have did a lot of this for yourselves. But hey, that's just me. But then, after they had the conversations, they said if they do sell to the G2s, it will be at fair market value. Starting to think these little G1s just all about the money, baby. These some little greedy people. I understand. Trust me, I do. I totally understand. And I'm sorry to hear that. Nicole doesn't know what triggers her. Oh, Nicole called. I'm jumping around, y'all, because I'm trying to keep track of my notes. Nicole called Quita and thanked her for sending her some cookies. Evidently, Quita sent her some cookies as a way of apologizing. I wonder what kind of cookies these were. But Nicole said she ate one and threw them away. I guess she said, well, I tried. I ate one of your little cookies and I threw the rest of them away. It's kind of messed up, but maybe she didn't like the cookies. I don't know, but she said she ate one of them. And then she calls Quita out about her weight loss journey. I'm like, really? That's how y'all gonna do each other out here on this screen, letting everybody know that she having a hard time losing weight? Because we see Quita like eat. Quita like to eat, Quita like to drink. Based off of what I see, the whole family like to eat and drink. But hey, they like it. I love it. But then Lakeisha comes over, and they trying to figure out where their disconnect came from. And Nicole says she doesn't know what to say to her because she don't feel like she has a safe place to talk to her, and she don't feel like she's given her a soft place where she can open up about her feelings. So Nicole is like, we don't know what triggers you. And Lakeisha is like, she feels left out. And even in the first episode, you could see how she was like cast to the side and felt left out. I would have felt left out because that's the way it looked to me. Because it was like she wasn't part of the family. And you got everybody there taking pictures, having group photos, and she's like off to the side. And I know she's closer with Jermisha and Jaquetta, but even with that, none of them included her in that picture. And that felt, heck, I felt that for her because even though I had no sisters, I grew up with a lot of cousins because my dad had a lot of sisters and brothers. So I used to grow up around a lot of my cousins, but with me being the only girl, and some of my cousins had a bunch of girls. They used to do a lot of things that I couldn't do, and I felt left out. So I understand. And even now, it's still that when I go around them, I'm off to myself, but then I be off to myself a lot too anyway. I like my peace. I like my peace as much as possible. Um, it seems like they feel scared to talk to each other. Nicole states that she feels guilty because she feels like she had a better life than her sister. And her sister was telling her, don't feel guilty about what you think was a better life because I had a good life. I mean, she lost her mom recently, but that doesn't negate that she felt like she had a good life. And that was a problem with Nicole because she felt like she couldn't talk to her because she felt guilty because she felt like she was living better than she was. And then, they talked about when their grandfather passed, and Nicole was talking about her father took it really hard. And based off of the conversation, their father is emotionally unavailable, which has been moved on to the kids because with them being emotionally unavailable, it has traumatized them because the emotions that they couldn't get from their father, they can't give it to anybody else because how can you give somebody something that you aren't used to getting yourself? You don't know how to receive what you've never been given. And it shows that they were traumatized as kids because their father never told them thank you. They never got hugs. They were never told, I love you. So that's traumatizing for somebody because as you get older, you can see that in Nicole. Because I feel like with Nicole, that shows when she's not communicating, not talking with her own husband, that came from what they had from their father. Of course, Nicole gets very emotional in this episode and she starts crying and stuff. And they, agree to work on their sisterhood. They know it's gonna take time, but they're willing to work on it so they can move forward. Um the next scene we see where Jamisha and Jaquetta meet up, and Jamisha was telling Jaquetta that Grandma Oscarine is open to leaving the property in the family, and they're going to have to present the development plans that they're trying to do so that the G1s can see their vision, because if the G1s can't see their vision, they're going to be like, we selling this land to the highest bidder. That's how I took that. They didn't say that, but that's what I got from it. Of course, Jaquetta pulls out her plans for the development, and she got her mindset on what it is that they trying to do, but they don't want their family to be destroyed over money, because there's a lot of families that do get destroyed over money, and I hate that happens, but it does happen. It happens a lot in all communities. We can see that Chris, who is Jaquetta's husband, is still in his feelings because he feel like he's not appreciated. Oh, Chris is bothering me because Chris sit here and he's talking about all of these things, but anytime they're asking him to do something, he's arguing back and forth with them. And I'm like, but you work for them. What are you doing? And just like they say, and later on in the episode, they were like, what employee can argue back and forth with their employer saying what are telling them what you will and won't do? And he's sitting there, he's doing it every day because feel like he's comfortable in what he's doing because of the fact that he's married to one of the sister cousins, and he don't feel like they'll fire his butt because he feel like, I'm the best photographer and they need me. Dude, you're replaceable just like anybody else. But anywho, we finally get to see Monet. I know we saw her in the last episode, but it wasn't where you was really interacting with her. But they actually showed her coming to Nicole's house, and she came in. They stated that she was the only single one left in the family. You could see she was flirting with the stretch therapist, which they were having at this girls' night. And she asked the guy, was he married? And he told her he was. Nicole said she was set, determined to get her Monet married. I don't know if I would want nobody else hooking me up. When I find somebody, I find somebody. But I don't know if I want my sister hooking me up, because what you like, your sister might not like. But hey. We move on to where you see the husbands. They meet up to have drinks, and all of the husbands are out, and they talking about how the Braden women are driven. They acknowledge they are driven, and when they're having their conversation, I feel like Chris makes a lot of excuses. He wants to do what he wants to do when he wants to do it. Now you have Jaquetta's husband, not Jaquetta, Jermisha's husband, telling him that he had called him because they were supposed to have been having a meeting. He called him, he texted him, he ain't got no responses from him. But now you sitting up here, you mad because you haven't heard from Jermisha and Nicole, but you doing the same things you saying they doing. Because this man said right here in your face, hey, I reached out to you. You didn't call me back. You ain't text me back. Now, we were supposed to be having a photo shoot that we didn't get done because you didn't respond. But you mad at the people that you mad at because they're not responding to you. Because you want this contract. And I'm sure they're working on it. But I just feel like Chris feel like he can do what he wants to do and wants to do what he wants to do because he married to the sister. That's just me and my thoughts. I could be wrong, but that's just how I feel about it. During the conversations with the sisters, they're talking about telling people not to share. When you get married, don't share your finances with your husband. Don't let him know what you make. Don't let him know what you got. They good with their finances and they gonna leave it like that. So they just have, basically they're just sitting there enjoying each other and having fun. I think the best part about this episode was when Nicole and Lakeisha had to sit down. And I'm wondering about this situation with Lakeisha and her girlfriend, because something done transpired over there. I feel like Keisha might have cheated and she done told her sister something else and sister cousin something else. So they feel like, it's something up with the girlfriend. And the girlfriend like, did you tell them everything? So homegirl did something. I don't know what homegirl did, but she did something and we need to find out. Hopefully I'll find out next episode. But like I said, I felt like the best part of this episode was when they sat down and had that conversation, because it's a conversation that they needed to have, and I'm glad they had it. I hope they're able to move forward from this. And I'm assuming she don't have this issue with Monet, because it doesn't seem like they're having an issue. The issue is just with Nicole. And like I said, I hope that after this, they move forward in a positive light, because at the end of the day, they are sisters. She lost her mother, so she really needs her family with her and surrounding her. And I hope it works out for the best for them. I will be watching to see how it progresses. If they're going to show it, then I'm going to watch it and see it. However, that is going to be the end of this review. Gonna go to the store and get some paint so I can paint my front door. Special. I need to get a little work done this morning. So I'll be listening to some of my YouTube people while I do what I got to do. So I'm headed to the store now. I hope you all have an amazing day today and be a blessing out there. Have fun on this weekend. Have an enjoyable weekend and have a wonderful day. Thanks to everyone that joined me this morning. I appreciate it so much because I'm still getting used to doing this live thing, even with me coming on camera, because that's scary for me. But I'm here. I'm doing it. But please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And you all have an amazing day. Bye-bye.